Okay, there is not much left to finish this workshop. I want to create a button here that will allow us to save the final output of the plot. So let's say that we go here into our like final null. So that's like our final output. Can take a look of it. So go to view. So let's say that we want to save this image somewhere. I want to be able to do this from a button here. So for this, we can create a movie file out. And so now, here there are a bunch of parameters. These will be the name of the file. Then we can switch to image and for now to JPEG or PNG. Also note that we have to specify a suffix, which is like this little number. And the way to save it is just record, so like on off. Like this way I have saved this image somewhere. For example, if I click here, I choose a folder, for me it will be images, and I save it as test, and then I click on record, on and off, and now I open my folder here, then I have my JPEG image. So we want to automate this, and as usual, we can open in our master, the customize component here, and start creating some parameters. First, we can create like a button to save. It will be a pulse. So I go to data. Actually, I start with the header. Will be save image, and this will go to the bottom with section on, and then I will create like a save button, which will be pulse. And now this parameter will go here on record. Just drag it here. So now we can just use this button. To specify also the destination folder and the file name, we can add more parameters. So we go again to customize component and to data, and here we can add a destination folder. That will be folder. Then file name should be string. And then we also need to specify this number. So if we go in the original expression here, we have this number, and we also need this to make it work. So it will be an integer, will be file suffix, and these will go from 0 to 10, let's say. And that's all we need. Let's move it to PNG, so it will work. And let's make a test. So I'll switch to like chew, whatever. Save it, clicking here, and then can check my folder, and here we go. So that's our image. Can take a quick test. So open this to check. I can call this Pokemon test is fine. Change this maybe, and let's move it to PNG to be sure it will work. And then I save. So then I can check in my image folder. And here it is. So that's our image. Now there are a couple of things that we need to fix. First, okay, let's go up. There is a problem with colors. So now if I choose quantitative is fine, but if I do mono, it won't work. That's because if you go to colors, here, this constant that for now I'm bypassing, it doesn't work anymore because for the resolution it's using this operator that we collapse inside this base. So we can go inside this and copy paste this color var, which is the one we need. We go up and paste it here. Now in the select, since we jumped like one folder up, we can delete these two, like dot slash. So now it works again. So now we have this, which is the correct number. And now it's not working, like we can just do this. And so it works again. Another issue I noticed is that I go up, and if I try to modify the value of the axis, see that the dots are not following the dimension of the axis, and also then the ticks, the values of the ticks don't make sense anymore. So we can go into data, and here we have our xy. So we get the variable, we rename it, and then we normalize. And this range should be corresponding to the size of the x. So we can take, so this is x, so we can take the x size and drag it here. So now if I change these, also the dots will change. The same for the y-axis in this limit. So we go to normalize range, and this one here. So now they both work. Like if you want, you could also try to modify dynamically the position of the legend. For now, I'll leave it like this. Another issue we have is in the interactivity. So if I open it now, it's not working. That's because if we go up and check here, we modified this to render before, and they are selecting only some geometries to render. And in these geometries, we did not include the ones that like show the rectangle with the Pokemon. So we can go inside, actually we can create another render. So we can just copy paste one of these, and I call this render interact. And here in the geos, I will delete this and just write a star. So it will show everything. Now we go inside the interactivity panel. Here, actually I will copy paste this first. We go here, and in the look, we need to modify this in the background top. So we just need to change the name of the render. Instead of this render one, we will use render interact. So now if I open the viewer again, here we have everything working. Okay, one last thing we haven't done is to have a button here to restore all these parameters. So for all the other pages, like titles and ticks and axis, we have this button, restore axis. We don't have for data and colors. So we can create it, and I want to show also like a new way, another way to do that. That is by using extensions. So for now we have inside each of this base, we go here inside this tree, we have this parameter execute that will trigger this function with the pulse button. Like if we are here in Cartesian axis, if I press this button, this will be triggered. And we can also do this with our extensions, and it will also be recommended to have all these codes inside extension. So for now, I will only do this for data and colors. We can go into our extension and we'll open the editor. We can start from scratch and create a new function. It will be this. I will call it restore data values. Of course, self. Let me go a bit bigger. And then will be what we have created, like pretty much the same code we have written in the parameter execute inside all the other bases. So it will be like this. Page equals, so we have to specify which page it is, and the page is like this. Those are all the pages, the custom pages. Page equals, we can specify the owner comp, so like self owner comp, this. And then custom pages. And the name of the page is data. So we can find it here. So that's the name of the page. Then do a loop for parameter, like par in page parse. And then we can like assign the default value to each parameter. So par val equal par value. That's the same we've done before. Sorry, not par val equal par default. And now, as you can imagine, we need a way to trigger this function from the parameter execute. And that will be on pulse. So we can go into the master here, customize component, like we've done in the other cases. We go to the bottom and create a header that will be restore data values. And then, yes, that's a header. And this will go to the bottom. Okay, and I will put section on. And now below this, I will do a pulse. We will just restore. Okay, so now when we click this button, all the parameter in this page will be set to the default. So that will basically be empty in most cases. So we can write little code here. So it will be again on pulse, and then elif if par name equals, and then we can take this one. Actually, restore is not okay. It should be restore data, even if we can leave the label like this. So restore data. So it's not okay because it's too generic, and in every page we have specified like this: restore labels, restore text values, and so on. So we can go back. If the par name is this, master dot, and then the name of the function, which is restore data values, parentheses. We can try. So we'll open the taxport.dat here, clear, And then I will press this. And yes, I forgot, we also need to write the name of the parameter here. It will look, that was restore data, like this. So I can try, I have an error. So now actually the parameter were reset. So now they're all empty. And of course, now that we don't have anything, we cannot see also like build our plot. So when you press this, everything will disappear. So we can build again. We have attack, actually was defense, attack, hate, whatever. And the plot is again here. So you can go to colors, do qualitative, legend on. It looks good. Okay, so this is it for now. I will load this workshop as it is now. Of course, there is much more we can do. There are many other options we can add and many little things we can fix. But like as a base like operator to create a scatter plot, this is okay. If you would like to go on, or if you'd like me to go on, I will get feedbacks. And if you'd like to go on your own, I would suggest to like go to like any Python library, like matplotlib, and then to the scatterplot. And from here, you can take a look of all the options that they have in the library and think about how you can add these options. So there are many. We have covered just a few of them, but the main techniques that we have used so far will be pretty much the same. I believe that only in the case we want to go further with the interactivity, we might need something more. And that's also what can differentiate TouchDesigner from other libraries. So thank you very much and have fun.